up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and it's time for another eyeshadow versus, girl. So today's eyeshadow versus, we got two of my favorite brands to compare, and we're gonna go head to head with Mented Cosmetics and Menagerie Cosmetics. So I got 3 palettes from each brand to talk about. So let's get into it. So if y'all remember, I rank them based on the price point, the color stories, the quality of the shadows, and the packaging. So we're gonna start off with these two because these were the ones that was on top. I don't know which one I'm actually gonna put. Well, I do know which one I'm gonna put against the other one because I'm like, I love both of them and I'm excited for it. But this is a BYOP palette, so I don't know if this should be counted, but the brand did actually make the color story. They just didn't make it into a palette. I took it off their Instagram where they made it a color story and made it into a palette. So that's why I'm counting. So we got the Serenity palette from Menagerie and Miss Annette's Makeup Corner. So I figured we could put these side by side. So let me show you what the inside of both of them looks like. So unfortunately, I can't do one for the packaging on this because obviously it's just generic packaging because I had to buy the palette to put it in. But I felt like these color stories were somewhat similar. Not exact, I say somewhat similar. I'm using it loosely, but you see what I'm saying about like the colors? They got a lot of blues and greens and pinks and purples if you will. Now Annette does have orange, but there's no orange in here. But I feel like I had enough of the same tones so we could go ahead with it. So let's start off with Menagerie this time instead of the one I held in the right hand. We'll start with the left hand this time. So I love Annette's palette. I love how she said that when she first started off making this, it was her color aesthetic, and now like it's not now that like she was done making the palette, but you know she was already too invested and it was too late. Mine unfortunately chipped. I think I ended up dropping it, or like something ended up happening to probably when I was carrying it with me, because you know like sometimes my son carries my luggage for me and it's a little bit rough because you know we're a boy and we don't take care with things. I really like Annette's color story. I really like the palette. I really like the packaging. The formula on this is really nice. So this is gonna get a 3 for me on all 3. So the formula, the packaging, the color story, and right, the price point. The price point of this was pretty good for indie makeup, so I'd say it gets a 4. So it hits all the points for me, so that's a 4. And so far we haven't done anything for lethal. So unfortunately I can't get lethal for the packaging because you know it's a generic plain packaging that says Lethal Cosmetics, so they're not getting anything for the packaging. But again, they will definitely get a point for the color story because it's amazing. The form of this is nice, and for their singles, I think I bought this during the sale, and they do sales pretty often on their BYOP build your own palette, so I can do the price. So the price is good, the color story is nice, the formula of their eyeshadows is really nice in my opinion. Oddly enough, Annette's Makeup Corner said this is not her favorite formula, and I'm putting it against her palette, so I thought it was funny to mention. But yeah, they get a 3 for me. So they get a 3 just because this isn't their standard packaging that they do on their palettes. Although their packaging isn't like aesthetically pleasing the majority of the time, but it's like it usually looks better than the plain one, so that's why it has 3, and then Menagerie has 4. So the next Menagerie palette I have, I don't know how y'all feel about this one because I feel like they don't necessarily look exactly the same, but I felt again that they were close enough that we could go ahead and do them. So this is the Lethal Cosmetics Velvet Dust palette. This is the second palette I ever bought from Menagerie, random side note. From Lethal Cosmetics, random side note, up against the Feral palette from Menagerie Cosmetics, and this is actually the first palette I ever bought from the brand. I ended up selling mine though because I wasn't really a fan of the formula when I first started off. I wasn't that well with working with pigments though, so I feel like that's what my issue was. Anyway, let's show both these palettes side by side while I'm talking about formulas and all that. So here is the Velvet Dust up against the Feral palette. I think the Feral palette is being discontinued if I remember correctly, but you see what I'm saying? I feel like this has a couple of grungy tones, but I feel like the rest of the tone and the tones in here look close enough to where they could be compared. So, you know, you can tell me down below if you agree or not, but I feel like they were close enough. So that's why I'm here and we're doing it, we wing it. So again, we're gonna go with Menagerie, just gonna keep it the theme. So, of course, the packaging gets a 10 out of 10. Look how gorgeous this packaging is. It's just stunning. So the packaging is really nice. Now the color story I'm not super crazy about on this one, so I don't know if I necessarily want to give the color story a point. I mean, it's nice, but it's not like exceptionally wonderful in my personal opinion. But the formula on it is really nice. Now I've learned how to use pressed pigments better. What helped me learn how to use pressed pigments, if you all didn't know, was the Color Rain Vivid Pigments and Shadows palette. That palette was like basically how I learned how to use my pressed pigments and palettes, and I truly appreciate them for that. But back to this palette, I like the color story, okay, I'm just not crazy about it as opposed to the Velvet Dust one. So the color story isn't going to get a point, but the packaging is definitely going to get a point. The formula is going to get a point, and the price point of this is pretty nice. This is the standard price point of their palettes. I think it's $48 if I remember correctly, so I'll go ahead and give it the price point too. So far they have 7 and Menagerie has 3, but let's get into the Menagerie one now. Like, again, their packaging is never like all that or exceptional unless they're doing a collab with somebody. Like the ones for Teresa's Dead palette, or at least her second palette, is way nicer. This is just some average standard packaging, so I'm not going to give a point for the packaging just because I hate to say it, but I feel like a lot of their packaging is usually plain. They stepped it up though with the up to it's the One Up collection, but the color story I definitely love. I saw Karen Harris with this palette. I was like, yes, I need it. And you can use code Cage Makeup if you're buying from Lethal Cosmetics. Random side note, so you can use Karen's code on their website. You can buy their stuff from Camera Ready as well though, but I don't think Karen has a code with Camera Ready. You have to use Teresa's Dead code with Camera Ready. But if you're buying from Lethal's website when they have a good sale on Black Friday, make sure you use code Cage Makeup. Random side note. But yeah, I will definitely give the color story a point, the formula get a point, and the price point of this palette was pretty good. I think this was $48, the same as Menagerie's palette, so they're gonna get 3 from me as well, because their color story I like, their formula I like, and their price point I like. So they have 6 and Menagerie has 7, I believe. Yeah, Menagerie has 7, so Menagerie's gonna hit them. Now these are the palettes we're gonna battle side by side. I absolutely love both of these palettes, so this is really hard for me as far as battling, just because since I like both the palettes, I'm like, I really put myself in a really bad position when it comes to like comparing these in a video, because I'm just like, oh Lord, no. But the last one I have is the Night Flower palette from Lisa that came out this year. I think it came out in like February or March. This is my favorite palette from the brand. I absolutely love it. And then of course this is my favorite palette from Menagerie. This is the Flight Club palette. Absolutely stunning, amazing, wonderful. It's everything. I love it. So both of these we're gonna end like we started with Menagerie. So I mean, this is a purple lover's dream. I feel like if you love purples, you're here for it, you're available. It's a vibe. They actually got rid of their indigo ink palette. Sorry, their violet ink palette to make way for this palette, but they brought an indigo ink palette later on in the year. I actually have an overrated, underrated makeup video coming up. I need to film this week, but Friday is when I'm going to film all my commentary videos. I'm trying to get all my intros and stuff done today, so that way throughout the week I can just film the eye videos. But back to the palette. This palette is stunning. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I love the color story of this. I love the transition shades that they have in here because they shift. Like this shade shifts and this shade shifts. And then they just have some really nice shimmers and different matte mauve tones. I like the fact that they have like lighter mauve tones that you can use if you want to do a softer look, or they have like the full blown colors that you can use for people like me who are really into, like, you know, doing full-on monochromatic purple look. So I feel like they had all the bases covered with this palette, and it's absolutely stunning. So I'm so happy to have this in my collection. And this is one of my all-time favorite purple palettes to reach for. Like when I reach for purple palettes, I usually think of this and like maybe 2 or 3 other purple palettes in my collection, like the one we're gonna talk about now, which is the Night Flower palette. Now I will give the packaging on this one credit because I feel like they stepped it up. It's a nice little flower in here and this nice little cheetah pattern or whatever palette it's supposed to be. So I will give this packaging one. Oh y'all, I'm so excited about the color story. I forgot to talk about the packaging. So of course the packaging gets the point, the form on this gets the point, the color story is absolutely stunning, and the price point gets the point. So they have 4 more. So they have what? They had 7. And they have 4 more, so they have 11. Let's get into this one now. So like I said, the packaging is going to get a point for me because I feel like they stepped it up compared to the other palettes they have. The After Dark packaging is really nice because they let you put stickers on it, but we weren't comparing this one, so I couldn't include it. And look at this color story. I feel like this is just as nice as the other one, but they actually gave me blues and purples. And y'all know I like to combine blues and purples, or I'll just do purples, or I'll just do blues. But I did a blue and purple look for my birthday this week, which was Tuesday, November the 8th, election day. So that just shows you that this palette is perfect for me because it's blues and it's purple, and I often do that combination. So I was here for it. The color story, this is amazing and I love it. I feel like some of the colors in here are actually similar to some of the colors in the Menagerie palette. Like this one right here reminds me of a shade in there, and this one, and this one, and this one a little bit as well. So some of the shades in here are really similar to that palette as well, which I feel like it'd be good because we have closer colors that we could make looks within the palettes as well. So that's another reason I wanted to put both of these side by side, aside from the fact that like I just love blue and purple, and any excuse I get to use it, I will do so. So this gets a 4 from me because I like the packaging, I like the formula, I like the color story, and the price point on this to me is really good. Since you can use codes, with Menagerie you can't use codes, but with Lethal you can. I used code Cage Makeup when I bought this palette, and I absolutely loved it. So Menagerie and Lethal are neck and neck. Lethal is literally off by like 1 point. So if they hit all the marks when we do both these eyeshadow looks, Lethal will win. But if they don't, Menagerie will win. So we'll see how it goes. Let me zoom you on real quick and cute like girl. If you're curious what's on my eyes right now, this is actually a battle of the Mel Thompson Retro Glam bundle from Sydney Grace. First is the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. And this is going to be included in the video that you all see tomorrow, November the, 10th? Yeah, November the 10th. This will go up at 7 o'clock. I have the one of just Mel's palette, comparing it to the original Retro Glam. Sorry, the original Retro Mini palette going up at 12 o'clock. And then I have the one for the actual Retro Glam going up that night. So you can get all the content in one day. So Natasha's video is actually going to be a bonus video, random side note. But I'm going to go off camera, get my life in order. I'm trying to decide which palette I want to do off camera. I'm thinking we'll do the Menagerie one off camera because I've done more looks with the Menagerie palette, I feel like, than I have done with the Night Flower. Plus, since we talked about Menagerie, I usually like to do the palette we talked about first and then do the one on camera that we talked about last. So that would be the Lethal palette. So I'm gonna go off camera, get a look done, have some swatches on my hand like I normally do to compare them side by side, and then we will get into our eye look. I'll be right back, girl. Okay, y'all, so we got the Menagerie eye done. Let me show you the swatches. So I start off with Menagerie and then Lethal. So it's Menagerie, Lethal, Menagerie, Lethal, Menagerie, Lethal, Menagerie, Lethal, Menagerie, Lethal. So this is what we're working with. Let's get into this Lethal eyeshadow palette. I'm sorry about the sun, y'all, but it's like 3 o'clock and starts doing this weird thing at 3, and then this is the last eye look I'm trying to do for right now anyway, so I can take all the stuff home. So we just gonna have to bear through it like with the older eye one because I can't do too much about it. Let me get my eyeshadow primer on real quick. Y'all just been doing battles like non-stop today. I've done like 3 in a row now. So I'm like, I'm cool. I need to do the last Verzuz, but I'll do that later on tonight just because I don't feel like it now. Plus, I need to go home and grab some new stuff for content because today is the last day I'm free from work. So I'm out here, so been trying to make the most of it all week long and still do stuff that needs to be done in the house. So I'm going to start off with this shade right here. So this is going to be our crease shade. This is going to be another crease shade. This is going to be another crease shade. This is going to be our outer V shade, believe it or not. I'm not going into the deep purple for once. And then this is going to be our lid shade. And this one is our inner corner shade. So let's get to it. Y'all have been like just so excited to not have to go to work. But I hate the fact that I still get the notifications from work. So it's like I'm off work, but like these notifications are just like popping up on my phone about what's going on there. I'm like, I don't want to know. I'm not required to know. I am not salaried. Please leave me alone. Like, I don't see anything about any of these messages pertaining to anything. I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to know. Please leave. So it's been annoying because I'll be waking up randomly to like messages popping up on my watch. Or like on my phone, my pillow vibrating. I'm like, look. The crazy thing is, it's not even for a department I work for. So it's like, I get notifications for departments I work for, and then I'm just annoyed. Like, why are you sending me this? Stop sending me this. No. So let's clean this right here. So I'm trying to sit at a weird angle, and I'm gonna be sitting at some weird angles throughout the video just to make sure like the light is on my face and annoying you while you're watching this. Because I know I'd be annoyed if there was just a random light across someone's face. I'm trying to bear that in mind. Next, I'm gonna go in with the lighter purple that's next to the inner corner shade we're using, this one right here, to put into our crease because that's our other crease shade. I just wanted to stick to the lighter tones this time for once and give them more like a pinkish purple fuchsia type vibe to the eyes, so that's why I picked the colors that I chose. And I think it turned out pretty nice on the Menagerie side, and it's turning out so far pretty good on the Lethal side. And everything's going out nicely and smoothly. The shadows do pick up a little powdery in both palettes. I feel like the mattes in the Lethal palettes feel a little smoother though. Could just be me, but I'm feeling like they're a little smoother, and the Menagerie ones felt a little rougher. But this palette did come out this year, and the Menagerie one came out last year, so that might be why. Take our clean brush again, honey, and just dust over. This is a Sigma E40 Max. So it's just like a huge version of the tapered E40 blending brush and a maximum size. So it means the bristles are longer if I remember correctly. Now, oh crap, I put the wrong color in the crease, y'all. Jesus. So I'm gonna just go over that shade with this shade because the one I put in the crease is actually supposed to go in the outer V, y'all. Yes, girl, I know. So just pat it over there. And get the light little lavender going on it. But I'm really liking both the shades. So I feel like I like that on the outer V as well. It'll look nice on the outer V. We're just gonna pack this on top of that and act like that didn't happen. That didn't happen. You know. We had a whole conversation about that happening. Like none of that happened. It's fine. It's fine. I'm loving this dark, dusty type, mauve-ish type situation we have going on in the crease with the light lavender, and then adding the fuchsia to the outer V. I feel like it's just gonna be so cool. Yeah, like see how nice that looks. I mean, it's not as deep as I was hoping it to be. I thought it was gonna be a little deeper than, and a little closer to the shade in the Menagerie palette, but you know, it's okay, I guess. You know, since we kind of have a choice, it, you know, has to be okay. So yeah. So I need to go to Sephora and return my Makeup by Mario palette. Yes, I had ordered it online, and then I went in the store. I told y'all the story in that video, and then I found it in the store after they told me that you couldn't order it online and pick up in store. So I was pissed about that, but I'm gonna just go ahead and take it back, and that'll pay for Adriangameover and I's dinner tonight. We'll pay for his portion of dinner. It's my birthday, so if you didn't know it, Red Robin, when you go for your birthday, if you're part of their club, you get a free birthday dinner. So my dinner is gonna be free. I'm gonna just have to pay for my son's dinner and like my dessert. But I saw that they have a coupon. If you spend $10 on your meal, you can get the dessert for free. So I'm thinking about doing separate checks. My check be separate from his, so then now I can use the 2 coupons 2 different times because we on 2 different orders. Yes, y'all, I'm that kind of cheap, but you know, that's how my mom is. She's a very price conscious consumer, so you know, you do pick up on things that your parents do, and that's definitely something my mom did. She was always, until this day, is still a price conscious consumer, so that explains why I am. Anyway, let's take this lid shade now. And look how nice that is. Like, I'm loving like the pinkish purple blue that it's giving off in the shifting. I feel like the one in the Menagerie one is a tad bit deeper, but overall I'm liking both of them, and you know, each one is giving something special. It's giving. I don't be looking crazy going to Sephora with this on, because oh no, we're not taking it off. Girl, it's here to stay. We're wearing this to Sephora, we're wearing this to dinner, we're wearing it home, and then we'll do some more eye looks later once I go through the ideas in my phone. I'm trying to get as many ideas out of my phone as possible. I filmed another Once Hyped Palettes Where Are They Now video for y'all, because y'all seem to like those. And I'm trying to encourage everybody to pull out older stuff in the collection and use older stuff till Black Friday comes. And then if some you really want to try and deal you really want, we're just adding some more shimmer back on, then you'll go ahead and get that. I'm going to go add a little bit more of that purple in, because I feel like I got lost and didn't help that I put the wrong purple in there to start off with. So it might be picking up on that as well. So we want to combat that by adding this like lavenderish lighter shade for this house. So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna take my clean brush once more, you know, and dust over here more nice and cute like. Now we're gonna go with the inner corner shade. So that's the one that's next to the outer V shade. We picked this one right here, so let's just go ahead and pop that in the inner corner, and then we can back it on up and talk about my thoughts about each palette and which one I prefer. And I can tell y'all now, this one's gonna be hard for me, because I like both these palettes. These are easily one of my top 5 purple palettes, so it's gonna be hard for me to pick. I'm telling you now. But back it on up. Let's talk, girl. Girl, let's talk. Okay, so, oh Lord, this lighting is awful. Let me just see, can I? Okay, I guess that's better. Yeah, these lights are bright as hell on my face, so we're gonna make these quick. For once, I'm not gonna be talking for a million years. Who are we kidding? I'm lying. I probably will. That's not the point. Anyway, so when it comes to the palettes, I already put the Menagerie one away, so I can't show it. But like, I like each eye for different reasons. Like, for example, I like that this is giving more of a deeper purplish fuchsia type tone, and the mattes in here are running deeper, even though they looked even when I swatched them. With the Menagerie ones all seem a little deeper than these, but I like the shimmer on this side, and the fact that it gives like the iridescence of blue, purple, fuchsia, pink to the lid. But if I had to pick, I think I'm gonna go with the Menagerie eye. I just like that one a tad bit more because of the depth I get on the outer V, even though the pink shades look about similar in the pan. And the iridescence has a time and a place, but I don't know, I just love the look of the Menagerie eye a little bit more than Lethal eye. That doesn't mean I don't love Lethal, because I love Lethal 100%. Love this brand. So glad that Karen got some PR from them so I could find out that they existed, because I feel like they have wonderful, amazing products that I love to buy. And you can use code Cage Makeup to buy this palette, by the way. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the eye looks. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all the diamonds. You can comment down below and tell me which eye you like best, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.